This is Mike Ward with Live Explore Real Estate in Petaluma. I'm with Andrew Burnett, managing partner in Seared Restaurant in Petaluma, and this is the Ward Report. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
How you doing?
Good.
Good?
This is
Good.
fun.
Yeah, good to have you in. I'm going to go
you.
through some quick true and falses.
All right.
No other words but true and false, unless you really want to talk about it for a little bit. And we'll see where it goes from that. We'll see if you get to the bonus round. We got bonus questions coming if you get through the true and false. All right. It's 7:30 on a Saturday night with a full restaurant and a 45-minute wait. Your bartender drops 2 martini glasses in the main well and they shatter. These are the moments as a manager you cherish.
True.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get back to that. I thought that was going to be a false. I thought that was going to be a for sure false. Yeah. That was my nightmare as a bartender.
Oh, yeah. It happens, though.
It always happens,
It does.
and it's always the busiest time.
It is.
And it's always when the drink tickets are just stacked.
No, I had one time. Sorry.
Get in.
I had one time where, like that at my dad's restaurant, I just started bartending, probably 23, 24. Broke a glass in the ice. Busy, or Christmas time, busy.
Yeah.
Refill it, burn the ice. 2 seconds later, break another one.
Boom, boom.
My dad was so mad.
That's 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's 30 minutes of burning wells and refilling ice. All the barbacks hate you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, managers.
Nobody likes you. Yeah.
All right, number 2, high school question. If there's a wildcat in the front, most likely you can hear him grunt.
True?
Yes.
All right.
Wildcats in the front, let me hear you grunt.
Okay. Yeah.
Wildcats in the back, show me where you're at right here.
There we go. Right here.
Both Marin Catholic grads.
All right.
All right, 3, any obstacle or issue in life can be solved through an aged whiskey and a 20-plus minute live recording of Scarlet Begonia Fire on the Mountain.
True.
Knock that one. I knew that one was coming.
Done and done.
I knew that was coming. What's your number 1 song?
Oh, God.
What's one of your favorites?
Right now, U.S. Blues.
Okay.
Love it. That's some reason it gets me every time.
Do you go up and down with
I do.
Yeah.
It always changes. I mean, some of the biggest memories, like Broke Down Palace, is
Yeah.
just a tearjerker.
That is a tearjerker.
Yeah, it's always, but any Dead song
Yeah.
to me really just is fun.
Oh, God, it brings me back to high school, too, when I used to actually go to shows. Number 4, we got 2 more. Fatherhood has made you a better leader of the employees on your team.
Oh, true.
Yeah, and we'll get more into that, how it's changed you as a person and as a manager. And then last one, this is a lock. Giants fans are insanely more likable than Oakland A's fans.
False.
Diehard A's fan.
Come on, yeah.
Lifelong A's fan.
Oh, yeah.
One of the crew, right? There was a crew out of Novato.
Oh, yeah.
Who supports you in that you grew up with?
My buddy Nolan is
Yeah.
a huge A's fan. We went to opening day for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I mean, my dad just kind of brought me up on him. Now he's a Giants fan.
Yeah.
But growing up, Bash Brothers.
He switched on you.
Oh, yeah. But we were a restaurant in Richmond. We always had tickets to the A's.
Yeah.
It was fun. Every once in a while, I get at Sinaloa, I get needed to go to the office around like 10 o'clock. I go there, and my pops would be waiting for me with A's tickets.
Oh,
and
just
rolling out. I
stoked.
mean, just fun stuff like that. Good memories.
I took my kids to an A's game this year against the Angels, and you know what is amazing about the experience of the A's? I know the stadium's not great, but God, doesn't it bring you back of what like Candlestick felt to me in the 80s? There's still troughs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Nothing's taken care of, but it's like a true baseball experience. There's nothing like polished up and nice about it's just baseball. You're there to see the game.
It is.
It
is. I mean, too bad Mount Davis was built. I mean, it was pretty cool before then.
Totally.
It was fun to see the Oakland Hills in the back, and it wasn't that bad. But I don't know why we can't get it done and get something downtown.
I love the ticket prices though. Good Lord, we got we were 2 rows back for $200 for the whole family.
Oh yeah.
All right, bonus questions. You made through that round. So you are shipwrecked on an island with a record player powered by the sun. You get 1 vinyl record for eternity. What album is it?
That's tough. There's so many.
Yeah,
there really are. I mean, huge. I mean, grew up. I mean, my first love was Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
I grew up going to probably 20 plus Willie Nelson shows in my life. He has so many great albums. Oh, Paul Simon, Graceland. I love
solid album.
I love that album. Let me throw a curveball here. E40 in a major way.
Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
Grew up on that one. But no, by far, American Beauty.
Yeah.
Grateful Dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Box of Rain for a song, American Beauty, right?
Box of Rain.
Yeah. That's it. That's almost a perfect album front to back.
Great album. There are a couple. I mean, Candyman, Operator. They're good songs, but no, absolutely love that album. is one of my ultimate favorites. Yeah.
We just went through a Graceland. For my kids every morning, we pay like a different Spotify station. I'll do like a week at a time. So I'll do the Beatles, and then we'll do Dead, and then we'll do Billy Strings, and then we just did Paul Simon, and Graceland came on. The energy as they're eating breakfast literally changed as Graceland came on.
It's so good.
It's such a perfect song.
No, I remember like driving to Tahoe with my dad, playing Graceland in the bus and just singing, and great times. One of my best concerts I've ever been to. Saw Paul Simon and Paul Simon and Bob Dylan at the Gorge in Washington.
Yeah.
And that in college, and that one really changed me.
Your perspective
on
music.
That one concert that kind of got you, be like, oh, this is real music.
That's one of the best lines of any song in Graceland that blew my mind. Literally, my head exploded. Was she comes back to tell me she's gone? It is such a simple line, but like, and then I think it goes. At least I didn't know that. No, something about brushing her hair from her forehead. But that line was literally. I thought about it for hours and hours in high school about someone literally taking off, but having the will to come back and tell you that she's leaving.
It's so good with good songwriters.
Absolutely.
I mean that's just that's my thing about music.
Yeah.
Lately with 20, 30 years is singer-songwriters.
The lyrics.
Oh, the lyrics. You get into them. There's great songwriters like, I'm Paul Simon, Grateful Dead, Robert Hunter from them, and Jerry and Willie Nelson. I mean, there's just John Prine.
Yeah.
One of the greatest. When you get some of those lyrics where you're just like, wow, that is amazing. How could you think of something like that and kind of go with it?
Prine's a genius.
Oh, God. No.
Do you like any new ones? Is there any newer songwriters to you that like stick out, or are you spoiled by the past?
I'm huge. I'm spoiled by the past kind of thing, where it's getting depressing to see people pass away.
Yeah.
And kind of, our wife and I are searching for shows to go to now, because a lot of the ones we go to are just kind of, they're not around anymore. But I mean, I'm a huge Wood Brothers fan.
Yeah.
Well, I love the Wood Brothers. I'm going to see them at the Fillmore in a couple, like next month.
I remember when they were playing the Mystic. I saw them a couple times. I wish they would come back.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, John Craigie, becoming a really big fan of him. There are a few. It's just so fun now when you just kind of put a Spotify or any Pandora or something on, you play a station of one of your favorites, and you get introduced to new people.
Yeah, the introduction.
It really is cool.
Yeah. I'm constantly like with Spotify, making notes, liking it. But what a convenient app. There's nothing better for discovery.
It is great.
All right, 2 more questions. You're going on a 30-day juice cleanse. What's the last meal you eat before you start?
That's a tough one.
Yeah. It could piece it together. It could be different restaurants. It could be one thing. It could be home cooked.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, I always those home cooked meals from my mom.
Yeah,
are always she does this chicken wild rice casserole. Nothing fancy about it.
That's her go-to, the casserole.
Yeah, she makes this pizza roll too.
It's very 80s.
I'm also a big Mexican food person. Yeah.
What's your number one in town?
Oh, El Royce.
El Royce.
Yeah.
What do you get?
Burrito.
Every time.
Carnitas. Super burrito. Yeah, those are my favorites.
Do you ever get those tacos Dorado?
Yeah.
God, those are unbelievable too, with the queso fresco on top.
So good.
Their salsas knocks you out too.
Yeah.
That red.
They kill it.
Yeah, they do. Last one. You can live without working in any city in the world for 6 months. Where is it and why?
I'd probably go back to where I went to college in Montana.
Okay.
In Missoula. Just outside Missoula is a little place called Rock Creek. A little stream up there. There's just love fly fishing on it.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love to be out in that area, not working, just relaxing. Spring, summer, fall, that kind of season in Montana is the most beautiful. Winter's great too, but it's I would love to be. I'm a mountain person.
How did that experience change you? Those 4 years. I mean, because you grew up in Marin in Nevada. We grew up in the same town, and then to go somewhere so remote. I guess it's a city, right?
A city.
Yeah,
it's a pretty progressive city. Not huge, but it was. Went there knowing nobody. Which was pretty awesome. But it completely changed me.
Yeah.
It opened me up. I always was a pretty shy person growing up, kind of laid back, but it opened my eyes, meeting new people, new experiences, fishing, skiing, camping, and just kind of growing up.
Yeah.
And for the ages between 18 and 22 were pretty big.
Do they take it slower in that environment? Like, you are a laid back person, which I think adds tremendously to your management style. and we'll go into that, but like moving from a place that does have hustle and bustle, San Francisco, Marin, to a place that's as laid back as that, like how does it change time? How does it change the energy of the environment there?
Right. It's just a great energy.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it just calms you down. It's just kind of taking stuff as it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really can't. You got to deal with stuff as it goes. But it definitely made me who I am.
Yeah.
It really defined me. Now living in, that's why we come back and living in Petaluma or Pengrove, Petaluma, same area. But it's just kind of that same laid back feel.
Yeah.
I get of people taking it a little bit slower.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Talking to you in stores.
Yeah.
Smiling at you.
Exactly. Just surrounded by good people. It's nice.
Especially how rooted you are in the community. I mean, you get an opportunity more so than most people to really meet the community because everyone's going through that restaurant, right? One of the best restaurants in town.
Thank you.
Everyone has a rotation of going in there at some point. So you do get to kind of set your roots and meet a lot of people that way. Do you see them around town? Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's great, too. It's great. I mean, since we're living in Petaluma for the first, 7 years of the restaurant. We just bought a house in Pengrove, 4 years ago.
Congrats.
4 years. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love it. But definitely when we're in Petaluma, see a lot more, but you run into people all the time. Like my daughter just started school in Pengrove, and like 3 of the parents in there I know from Happy Hour at Seared.
Everyone wants an appetizer.
It's fun.
Everyone wants a free out.
It is. And it's fun when they like your restaurant, too.
For sure.
There's nothing worse than someone's be like, I hate that
Oh,
restaurant.
the pride aspect of it.
But you can't.
So then how did you get back in? Like, so you were raised in a restaurant family.
Yeah.
Hotel Mac.
Yeah.
One of our old favorites, right? We used to have all those team dinners there when we went to MC. Unbelievable. Yeah, just a historic restaurant in
Beautiful
Richmond.
restaurant. Yeah.
You know how crazy this industry is. Like, how are you insane enough to go back into it for a career? Like, why did you keep on walking that path?
I never really, I guess I always knew what I wanted to do, but after college, I studied business management, came back and started, breaks, I'd always wait tables, busser, wait tables, bar back for my dad, but then coming back, started really getting into it. And I loved the years of working with my dad.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And seeing him, he had his partner in the restaurant, Griff, who was one of my biggest influence, one of my really good friends. Seeing those two and working with them for 10 years, about 10 or so there, just really brought me into it. Be like, this is what I want. They were cool people. They were fun. And just seeing Busy Restaurant, how they handled it. And it was, I just fell in love with it. I can't imagine doing anything else.
What did you absorb from him as a mentor, besides of being a father, just within the industry itself? Like, what were some of his best attributes?
I mean, he just seeing him work, his work ethic.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, he grew up, my pops grew up in Newport as a surfer, was a Green Beret, came back to running restaurants, and you just kind of see both styles of it, of just kind of working his butt off. I mean, I remember him telling me he'd be doing something. When I first started, I had no management experience. I was just I think I was busting tables, and something happened. Someone threw up, or something where your restaurant manager cleans it up. I'm like, you do that? He's like, yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah.
It's your restaurant. You clean stuff. You do everything.
Yeah.
And just kind of seeing him, how he's working, and how he's reacting to the community. It's just shaped me to be like, hey, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love genetic variation. It's like you have a Green Beret father and then one of the chillest sons to ever walk the face of the earth.
My dad's chill.
Is he too?
My dad is.
Yeah, so he could turn it on and off.
Yeah.
Did you see him turn it on and off in the restaurant?
He was always pretty even keel.
Yeah.
He really was. And that's kind of what made it, it kind of showed me what to do. You can't get a hothead in there. You can't get upset. Stuff happens. You just got to roll with it and do your best to make sure it goes smooth. Yeah. And
that goes into the experience at Seared. When I'm there, and I've been there a lot, and I'll talk about that, but if someone came from out of town and asked you, like, hey, what is Seared? What's the experience at Seared? Like, how do you describe the restaurant? Every restaurant has different characteristics, different vibes, different energies. Like, what's the vibe and energy of Seared?
I mean, I always say it's Petaluma.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what we are. We are Joe's a great chef. Went to school, knows everything about food. He's amazing with it, but he's still just mellow and fun. I mean, I know. Me with doing the front of the house. I've been in this forever, doing different I know about wine. I could break it down and tell you about different stuff, or you can come into the restaurant and where I'm going with this. You can come in and no matter who you are, be treated well.
Sure.
I mean, that's just kind of what it is. It's Petaluma. We have people who want the high end stuff and all know about everything. People who just want to come in and just have a drink and have fun. So it's just kind of a balance.
Well, it's a balanced town because you've got, especially lately, right, the last 5 years, a lot of money coming in from other areas, which you see day to day. But then you also have this rural aspect of Petaluma where there's ranchers and, the farming community. Yeah. And it mixes. I mean, that's what I think makes the town what it is.
It's cool.
Is that constant balance. So you see that in Seared. You see that balance translate to the clientele and the vibe.
100%. We do big banquets upstairs with big corporate people. We do different slaughterhouses come in and they've done a couple banquets with us. And you get your people from Hog Island coming in. I mean, you have every aspect of what makes Petaluma great coming to the restaurant, and it's just a fun, warm, welcoming experience, I hope, for everybody.
I want to be the next bartender at the slaughterhouse party.
Yeah, it was
I just want to watch
it was fun. Yeah, they were good,
and listen.
They were good people.
The stories must be insane.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. So one thing I'm super interested in, because I was doing a little research online, you guys opened in 2013, that's correct?
Yeah.
So rock bottom, right, economically. Like 2012 is the bottom of the economy, the Great Recession. Yeah. Tough time to open a restaurant because they're based in discretionary income.
Yeah.
How'd you guys navigate that?
I mean, the first 3-4 years are tough. The first year was tough. I actually came into the restaurant about a month after they opened. I was living in Maine, and I knew they were opening it up, and a friend of mine was helping them. Actually, my dad's partner, his restaurant was helping them, and I knew they needed someone in front of the house, and they called me. So I was living in Maine, drove across country with my wife and my dog, and popped in. So I was here about a month after. But I mean, you saw it's tough. I don't think people realize how tough it is to open a restaurant, especially in a time like that where money is tight. Your pricing is people are always complaining about stuff and just trying to get customers in. It was a rough couple years.
Do you think that was better for the restaurant to start off in that struggle rather than like starting off in 2022 or 2019 where it's just you're crushing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have stuff to compare to.
Yeah.
I mean, I go back and look at years and stuff of numbers all the time and say, what are we doing this year at this time and that kind of stuff you compare it to. Because it's nice to know. I think it's always good to struggle a little bit and not have it handed to you.
Absolutely.
It was I mean, we had those days where we had 4 or 5 customers come in. That's an exaggeration, but we had days where you're like, oh God,
really?
Ugh, this is going to be tough, and it's very nice now to be busy.
Yeah, now you can't even get into the happy hour. We used to go to the happy hour in the beginning, and it was always a seat. And, I mean, that's the best happy hour in town.
That was fun.
Hands down.
It's fun.
And now you got to get there early if you want a seat. Yeah. I mean, that shows the evolution. How's the evolution? So the first week you guys opened to last week, right? 10 years later, 11 years later. How have you evolved as a restaurant? Is it the same principles, same style, or do you see a difference in the way that it's run, in the way that it's perceived over the last 11 years?
Yeah, I mean, there is a difference. I mean, it's the same concept of the restaurant. The same with we wanted to start off with a busy, fun happy hour, which we accomplished, I think, and great food. But it definitely has changed over the years. But it's changed because when you first start out, you're learning stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody's learning. I mean, you start certain things like sound weird, but you don't know the building. Mm-hmm. You don't know what's going on. It's an old building.
Yeah.
100 years old. You don't know when stuff's happening. You always have stuff people don't see about in restaurants, like sewer lines backing up, stuff breaking down. Then you've got a new computer system and food. You're testing out new products and stuff like that. So it definitely is. It's changed a bunch, but it's just now that you get to know stuff and you figure out what works and make it a smoother transition
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Has ordering changed in terms of the way that you ordered in 2000? I know that. I mean, it's a slim margin business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, from those first 2 months to 1 year to 2 years to now, it has something like that streamlined and helped the process. So you know what's coming in and out. You know the numbers that are going to be there pretty consistently each week. Does that make it a smoother experience?
Oh, yeah. 100%. It's hard to order when you don't know how busy you're going to be.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you never can predict it, but we have it pretty steady.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's a little slower than you think, sometimes a little busier than you think, but you have a nice medium margin where you know how much product you need to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice too. We get deliveries every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes it a little bit easier, but you definitely learn.
Yeah, as you go.
Yeah.
And then come back to you touched on Chef Joe, right? Amazing chef. I've never had a bad meal there. That component of a GM to a chef is massive in a restaurant in terms of the energy between both of you, right? You're running the floor, they're running the kitchen. Anyone who's seen The Bear, which is one of my favorite series of the last 5 years.
So stressful to watch.
Unbelievably stressful to watch.
Yeah.
And kitchens are stressful. Yours might not be, but I've worked in the restaurant business for 10 years. And I'll tell you, 9 of those 10 kitchens, your stress level went through the roof when you walked into it.
Yeah.
So how do you guys manage your relationship? Is it a completely separate thing where are you helping each other out and piggybacking off each other? Or is he just running the kitchen, you're running the front, and then you're kind of talking about it to create like a synergistic environment for the restaurant between the two areas?
I mean, that's the ideal thing is he's got back, I got front, but we both do a little bit of everything. I'm not back there cooking at all, but when stuff's busy, I'm on Expo helping out and those kind of things. But I think Joe and I both have the same temperament where we're just kind of mellow. You don't ever see him get upset.
Yeah.
And which is hard.
Ever.
I mean,
people dropping meals?
Yeah. No, I mean, he's just like, okay, we'll fix it. We'll get it out. Here we go. You have times where when we first started out where you get a busy weekend and ticket times are 30, 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're stacked up. You have tickets everywhere. And he's just, okay, we got it. We're getting it out. Yeah. And it's just that, I mean, that kind of, that's contagious.
Yeah.
For everybody. Like, hey, you can't panic. This is what you do. This is what we're here for.
It's an amazing tool to keep. I only dropped one platter in my career, and it was 22 Caesar salads for a banquet, and I'll never forget. One shifted. The shift in the weight.
Oh, yeah.
22 Caesar salads. I walked back in the kitchen. I thought I was going to get shanked. Yeah. I'll never forget the look from my chef, like looking through my soul. And cracked on me, right? Like, and even though it was an accident, he let me know that it wasn't an accident that he appreciated.
Yeah, no, it's funny because you say stuff like that and it happens all the
time.
It does, and then, or you get a wrong order, like chef, that was supposed to be a surf and turf, not a salmon. You're like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, and he pushes it out. He's really is amazing back there. He's definitely great to have.
How's his creativity level? Is he constantly working to evolve? Not only your staples, right? Steak is a big staple for you, but you do a lot of other things good. How does he take on the menu and you helping with the menu? Like, how's the evolution of the menu?
The menu's all him. It's not me helping him out. I mean, he'll definitely try stuff and I'll try it. But yes, that's delicious. Here we go. But he is always researching. Always doing stuff, always talking to different purveyors, different people, bringing new stuff in, trying new things. I think that's what makes it great. You don't get stale.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always do something new. We have our core menu that stays the same. The great items that are always going to be on there just because they're fantastic. Yep. But you have 4 or 5, 6 different things that are seasonal that you kind of bring on, and it just makes it fun. It's a different. The restaurant menu is a different beast than it used to be. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. Same with cocktails. How it's changed over the years, how it went from just, I remember Dad's restaurant was chicken cordon bleu, rack of lamb, prime rib.
Rum and Coke.
Vodka soda. Then when I started bartending, it got crazy with Cosmos and lemon drops.
Yeah.
And that's when I was bartending. I'm like, oh my God, Cosmo, I can't.
4 ingredients.
Oh my God, I can't do it. But now it's just seeing all these guys like Joe bringing, I got this fish flown in from Hawaii. We're going to try out today. Or
that's an art form.
I'm trying this thing, or a bartender, a bar manager, Mary, going like, hey, I'm going to try this new cocktail. And I'm like, where do you, it's awesome to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, it's a fun for us as restaurant people, and also hopefully for customers to kind of come in and see new things, fun things. You're just like, wow, I didn't think that would work.
Brisket ramen worked.
Oh,
bring it back.
Yeah, that's a good
Bring it back.
That's
the first time I had that, I called the next like 4 weeks, and I was like, no, hey, special. No. Are you still bringing that? Does that come back every once in a while? I love that.
He did ramen like 3 weeks ago or so on a
I
Sunday,
need to be on an email string.
I'll let
you need to hit me up.
He kills it with that.
It was brisket, wasn't it?
He did brisket ramen, yeah.
It was absolutely delicious.
So
Yeah, he's good at what he does. It's insane to see that he also is that controlled in the kitchen. I haven't met many chefs who are.
Either have I. I mean, I've been through it all where they swear and especially with us, we have an open kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes, you see him the entire time cooking, so you really can't lose your temper. But even in the back or anything happen, he still is just calm. Unbelievable.
And so are you. And in terms of building a team that's calm around you, right? How do you build a team? Like, there's a lot of people that probably apply for jobs.
Yep.
How do you find not only the right person, but the right fit for the restaurant? And the right fit for you and the right fit for others?
It's got to be a fit because we're lucky to have a lot of the core people who've been with me for 10 years. I mean, it's been pretty amazing. A lot of these, the staff has been stuck with us front and back of the house for that long.
That long?
Yeah.
What percentage do you think of the original staff is still there? Because it says a lot about a restaurant.
Probably 30%.
Yeah.
It's still a big,
that's a lot.
It's still a big
10
number.
years.
And they're my core. They're my core. Everyone, I mean, not core, but yeah, they're fantastic. But also we have, I mean, the rest of them are here 7, 7, 5, 4. I mean, I don't hire very often.
And you have career servers.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen a lot in a town like this, where they're 30, 40, 50 years old, and they're still.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice because I really do push a balance. Work's not important.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's important for the restaurant, but your family life, going out with get out stuff outside of work is the most important thing, and I really try and push that with them. I try to time off, vacations. Those are very important. Mm-hmm. Very important for everybody. So I think hopefully they appreciate that.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
it's kind of a nice thing where, hey, we want to go skiing for a weekend. My kids are off. Yes, I'll get you covered. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work. And I'm lucky also to have staff who have gone on or to do other things that always come back. Like, hey, Andrew, call me up. I'm looking to pick up some shifts. What do you think? So yeah, no problem at all. And we'll work them back in there. So it's just fun to have a staff who I enjoy being around.
Yeah.
I look forward to working with them, and just are there. Have been there for a long time. It's great.
Do you hang out with staff outside, or do you like a separation between the team and you outside of the restaurant?
No, I mean, we definitely have hung out.
Yeah.
I'm just getting older now. I don't
too.
hang out. I mean, we used to go out and get drinks after work. I mean, there are quite a few we've been to concerts with. Quite a few of them. A couple Dead Company shows and John Prine shows and stuff like that. So yeah, we do hang out a little bit outside of work.
Yeah.
But my hangout days are.
It's gone.
As much as I would love to.
That's like me. I talk a huge game. Even our Christmas party here, I was talking a bunch of shit. Then I had like 2 cocktails and I was out. It just can't, especially with kids, right? You've got a young kid. I've got 2 young kids. That morning time, if I'm over a 2 cocktail limit, like God, your patience, just your energy, everything, I just don't feel you can provide as a parent. The same for me personally. Some people can do it.
It's tough.
It's very tough.
It is. I had the other night. I had friends figured out I had a Saturday off after a holiday party for my wife. Went up to Healdsburg with her holiday party, and a couple of my high school buddies called me like, "Hey, you got the day off? We're going out." Oh my gosh. Went to Twin Oaks for a drink or 2. Ended up at Grayton. It was like 10:30. I'm like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, we gotta go home. It's time to go. And the next morning I was
feeling it.
Yeah.
Grayton can get you too, because like you're at Grayton late night and there's this like weird depression that sets in. Everything smells like cigarettes. There's people walking around with oxygen tanks. Everyone's got like raw hands from pulling the left.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a different vibe in there after 11 o'clock. I've only been there a couple times, but I've felt it. So one thing you hammer with like the people that you hire, they seem to be a similar likeness to you in terms of like their experience in the restaurant, how they work, how they serve, how they bartend, how they cook. Being in the restaurant business for about 10 years, one of the first things I do in a restaurant, no matter how many times I've been there, is I sit back and I watch, right? I watch the servers, I watch the bartenders, I watch the chef, I watch the runners, I watch the manager. I've always done that. One thing I've noticed with you, and I've been in there in unbelievably busy times, like Christmas, peak, 45-minute wait, everyone going nuts. You are always cool as a cucumber. No, I'm telling you, I've seen you in there 30 times.
Like that,
30 times. You're never flustered. Do you have something that you do in those moments where, hey, the intensity's high, people need a leader that looks like they're calm and collected? Is there something you do mentally, or is that just you as a person and it translates to everyone?
I've been doing this so long.
Yeah.
I mean, you always know, and I always push the servers when we start getting really busy that it's all going to end at some point.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to speed it up. And so you just kind of take your time and figure it out. I mean, no one wants to. I mean, it does happen sometimes. No one wants to be at a restaurant where people are running around. You get busy. You just want to kind of take it easy.
Yeah.
Make sure the customers are having a good time. And yeah, I've been through every situation there. Knock on wood. There's going to be a couple that I haven't. That I've been through everything that you could possibly think of in a restaurant business. From having party of 100 upstairs, full day, full tables downstairs, a wait, busy bar. I mean, all the sewage backs up.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, it's happened like 7
What do you do?
I can run a snake every once in a while.
Yeah.
We have a snake down there. Try our best. You know how hard it is to get a plumber out at 8:00 on a Saturday in December.
Within 10 minutes.
Oh, it's impossible. Yeah, please help me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got stuff like that. You deal with drunk people. You deal with people complaining, but it's what makes it fun. You never know.
How do you handle those two? So first of all, do you have any good drunk stories? Like, what's the most insanely 3 sheets or 10 sheets to the win customer you've had, and how do you handle that?
I mean, we don't have a lot.
Yeah,
we don't.
Few and far between.
Yeah, I mean,
it has to happen. It happens every restaurant.
Oh yeah. And some of them are just, you cut them off, you tell them to leave. Most of them are like, okay, here we go. We get a few arguments here and there. I remember one time we were at my dad's restaurant. There's a host stand up top, and then there's like 4 or 5 stairs that go up to the mezzanine, which had like 15 tables up there. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting at the host stand with my dad's partner, Griff, and just talking. And I see this girl start walking down the mezzanine. And I look at her. I'm like, oh, God. You see her. She's like, not looking so hot. I grab there's an ice bucket right next to me for champagne. I take 2 stairs up, raise the ice bucket up. As she's coming down the stairs, she's throwing up in the ice bucket. As I'm
caught it.
I'm caught it. She's on the top step. I'm holding it up in the air. She's throwing up in it. Griff is just cracking up. He's like, oh, how did you see that? I'm like,
that's like Brock Purdy throwing before the receiver cuts, man. You know where they're going to go. You're going to be there.
It was one of the classics. He still brought it up. He's like, what? I'm like, she looked like it.
Yeah.
She looked like she was going to puke.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, I mean, you have all sorts of stories like that, but it's those are the fun days where lucky to have a dad who was in the industry forever. We talk almost every day, but how's the restaurant? It's fun to talk the next day and be like, hey, guess what happened?
For sure.
And he starts cracking up. He's like, I remember back in 74, we were doing this and this kind of
stuff. That's what you remember.
You remember those funny times that make it a great job. Yeah.
And how do you deal with the other thing you said was complaints? Like the vast amount of people that go to Seared, there's going to be no complaint because the food's good, the service is good, the management's good, the chef's great, right? You guys are dialed. There are people in life. Oh. If you get 100 people, one of those people is going to complain about everything, no matter how they could be sitting in heaven being fed grapes. Yeah. And they're going to complain about the grape, right? How do you deal with that? If you know the product is good, if you know that their service was good, right? And you're going into a table knowing they're just complaining to complain, like how do you handle that as a human?
It's tough. It's tough because you, no matter how busy you are and how great of a night you have, that one complaint stays with you.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how hard it is to do what we're doing. Every job is hard, but it's difficult. But you have a night where you're breaking records, everything is going great, you're having fun, and you have this one person just can't get over why his steak was tough.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to make you pay for it. I'll take it off. Do you want something else? No, I just want to tell you this is horrible. They keep going on and on. You're just like, I don't. It's difficult, but yeah, you deal with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to kind of take it on the chin and be like,
And it's the eye of the beholder, right? Because it's like that steak to me could be perfect.
Yeah.
And just so happens that, they cook steak a certain way and it's different than the way that they usually eat it.
We're not perfect.
No.
We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
But the problem is just fixing it. Yeah.
For sure.
What do you do? Cook you another one, grab something else.
Yeah.
You're not gonna pay for it. What are you gonna do? But it's just some people are just hell bent on just making other people miserable.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And your patience comes in there, right?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, I might not. Yeah, I might try and just kind of let them know that, hey, we'll fix it.
Yeah. And in that, like you being so patient, we've talked about that, over and over. That's kind of the theme of you, right? Is your patience and how collected you are. You're a newer dad, right? Five-year-old?
Yeah, almost 6.
Yeah, almost 6.
6 next month, yeah.
Married. How was, being married and having that kid adjusted you as a not only a human but a manager? Like, how have you brought that in? What you've learned from being a father and a husband?
Definitely try. I mean, patience. I mean, getting that, but it's just kind of changed your perspective on life.
Yeah.
You kind of tells you, it kind of just what is really important, and that family life is very important. That's why I kind of push that it's important to have time with your family. So it's great that, I mean, Chef Joe and I both have young kids, and we both know that we want to be there for their dance recitals and basketball games and stuff like that. So it's just nice to know you can run a restaurant, that you're working night shifts, but still be able to get home, tuck your daughter in, read her a book. And it definitely it makes you more understanding. It's a pretty wonderful thing to be a father.
Do you feel like today's father general manager has an easier way to balance than your dad's generation? Like, did you see your dad pretty consistently, even though he was running the restaurant, or was he there a lot of nights? And can you manipulate your schedule now where you can be at the recitals and be home more efficiently, I guess, than they did in the 80s and the 90s?
Yeah. No, I definitely can.
Yeah.
Because that team I have at the restaurant, I trust.
Yeah.
I think it's very important. I trust them 100%. I have a manager, Mary, who's been with me for 10 years. Chef Joe. There's different. I can list 10, 15 employees who I consider managers, but aren't. But that I trust will be there. So there's always time where I can get out a little bit early, let them know, be able to sneak away. My dad did his best to be at stuff.
Yeah.
Growing up, my mom. I'm the youngest of 4.
Okay.
So growing up, my dad owned 3 restaurants when I was growing up. And
3? What else did he own? I thought it was just Mac.
Yeah, he had Hotel Mac. He had a restaurant called Mac's, which is in Strawberry Village in Mill Valley, kind of by where In-N-Out is now.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was called Mac's. And then he had a restaurant in Orinda.
Wasn't Mac's in the city too?
No, it's just
MAX.
MAC.
Oh, okay.
Hotel Mac and Mac. And then he had a place called the Vintage House in Orinda. So he was all over the place.
Wow.
Yeah, and then finally sold 2 of them and ended up with Hotel Mac for 40 years.
Yeah.
Right around there. But he did his best. He would always, he'd make it to my baseball games and stuff like that. And we'd always do ski trips and things like that. But there definitely the majority of it was put on my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's something.
It's a tough balance.
That's something I don't want to do.
For sure.
I want to be there. Yeah.
Then how do you maximize outside the restaurant? Like when you're working and then when you go home, like what do you maximize with your family or with your daughter? Like what hobbies? Like what do you guys do to kind of take away mentally from the work stress?
Yeah, I mean we love camping.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've got the van.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we've always had VW buses. Can I get any more stereotypical? Beard, long hair,
dead bus. Yeah.
Bus. Yeah. But we have now we have an '87 Westphalia, so it's a fun little thing. So everything's packed in. We do little overnight trips out to Dillon or up to Salt Point or heading
Salt
out
Point's great.
Oh, I love Salt Point.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful. Or that kind of stuff with the family is always fun. Those kind of things, trips to Tahoe. I love fly fishing too. So I mean those kind of stuff. Oh yeah.
I've had a rod in my garage for 6 years. I've never used once. I think I saw the river runs through it on the TV one night, and I just bought it. I've never used. I want to learn so bad. There's a place up in Reading called the Fly Shop. I don't know if you've ever heard. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they do a weekend course.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting. You know, my kids have been young for so long to go up there for a couple nights and really learn. It's it's such an art form.
That's so much fun.
It's so fluid and so beautiful and so much skill. It seems
it's a lot. You go up. I mean, I've been doing it for years. Then I started going fishing with all these other guys who are like, "Oh my God, you're so much better than me at this. You're amazing." But no, we just did a 2-day float trip on the Trinity River for steelhead about a month ago with a bunch of buddies, which is just fun.
You get some fish?
Had a couple nice steelhead.
Yeah,
a couple nice ones. But just being on the river for 2 days, it's just
nothing like water.
That kind of brings.
The water is the best. Just the float.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So is that what you do? Do you float? Do you go from shore or float more?
Float. I mean, now we try and plan float trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's the idea behind a float trip? Is it you're basically starting at one point and then there's a pickup?
Yeah.
At the end,
you're floating a few miles of river and just fishing out of the raft or drift boat as you're going down with a fishing guide who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
You got to get the guide.
Yeah, I love fishing from shore. I mean, walking along a river is always great, but being in a boat and floating a big river in Montana, oh my God.
Have you gotten your daughter into it?
No, she's too young.
Yeah.
I will.
Not fly, but just fish, maybe like a lure.
Try to.
Yeah.
Try to. My in-laws have a lake house up in the Berkshires in Massachusetts that we try to go to every year.
Yeah.
And they're right on the water. They get a canoe, do a little bass and pike fishing out there is always fun. So she has a little Snoopy rod that she tries to do but gets bored in 2 seconds.
Both my boys. My oldest is all in. My youngest is just about there. My youngest put a hook through my ear last summer.
Oh,
our rule is 5 feet on the dock. He was not 5 feet. Straight through.
Barb going through?
Barb through.
Oh,
Wife had to cut off the top, push it through. Yeah. Not only did he put it through my ear, but he pulled it hard enough to break the line when it was in my ear. And then it was fine. Once it's in your ear, you're good. I've never had a piercing, but it's mellow after that, just getting it out. But it's a hazard around a 4-year-old.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's like a nightmare.
But nothing like seeing them pull that fish out. There's literally nothing in the world. I was a huge fishing kid, right? We used to go to Miwok. We used to do the fish derby in Nevada. So we did all that. I would go have my own tackle box, go with my buddies, get out there for an hour, 2 hours, pull 6 or 7 fish up.
So much fun.
To watch that kid pull that fish in for the first time, there's something like intrinsic, like and biological that's like programmed like on that catch. Like there's no exuberance that can find a match. You know, a kid pulling a fish out of the water.
I think it's hard to find anyone who catches their first fish isn't just excited.
Just smiling.
Oh my God, it gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep trying to like push her that way so you guys can share those trips?
I mean,
guide her that way. Sorry, not push her. Guide her that way.
I would love to see her going on fishing trips with me. It would be absolutely amazing. But whatever she wants to do. Yeah.
Have you found that interesting? For me as a parent, like I had these like dreams and aspirations with my first. My second, I really haven't. I learned with my first. But in my head, I was like, oh, he's going to get a scholarship to Stanford, obviously, for baseball.
Obviously.
He's going to be ripping on the guitar by 6 years old, have 1 million followers on Instagram. And then as I evolved as a parent, it's simply become, are you having fun? Let's do it again. Have you evolved like that, or have you always kind of sat back and just let her, I guess, figure her own path?
I never wanted to push her.
Yeah.
I never want to. I just want her to be happy.
Yeah.
I mean, life's rough.
Yeah.
It can be. It can be tough, but it's just a matter of her being a good person, smiling and laughing. That's kind of the only goals we have with her.
Where does she smile and laugh the most? Like what in her life is?
She is goofy.
Yeah.
She is just a goofball. She's always just kind of goofing around and having fun. Yeah. It's neat to watch.
Yeah. And she's dancing. You said there's recitals.
Yeah, she does a little ballet. Now she's started a jazz class. So
And how about you and your wife? Do you share any hobbies? Music? You both love traveling. You both love anything besides that?
Yeah. I mean, music's our big one.
Yeah. She totally aligned?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some other stuff. A couple people we don't agree with.
What's the ones you don't agree on?
I mean, she'll get sick of me playing the same thing. I mean, she loves the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
But for me, it's always Grateful Dead. It's on. Some of the old stuff. I talked about E40 earlier. I love E40.
Yeah.
I love growing up with that from Vallejo, from the Bay Area. one of the classics.
Well, it's
I
a
think.
memory. It's a time machine, right?
Yeah, that was high school.
Yeah.
Stuff with it, but we're spot on, and she loves camping, she loves the bus. I mean, stuff like that. We're right there with.
It's a heck of a partnership.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I'm lucky to have her. Yeah.
So based on that, that's the last question I'll have from you. You've been great, and we'll talk a little bit how people can find Seared, online. What it is, Seared.com?
PetalumaSeared.com.
PetalumaSeared.com.
Yeah.
What are your normal hours?
We're Tuesday through Sunday. Open at 3:30.
Happy hours unbelievable. What's the time of happy hours?
Every day from 3:30 to 6 after holidays. But yeah, no, it's fun. If you haven't been there, just come on in and stop by. It's a fun place to get a little cocktail and a snack.
Get those shrimp. What are those shrimp? That
we have the yum yum prawns.
That's the one. Yeah.
One of my
you always
favorites.
need 2 more though.
Yeah.
There should be 10 on there.
Delicious. Delicious. Yeah.
So last question. So 30 years from now, you're 76. I'm 70. I'd be 76. You're 75, 76. Like, looking back, what's going to determine a successful life to you as a manager, as a father, as a husband? Like, how do you define how will success be defined to you in 30 years?
I mean, you look back on it. I mean, I'd say what's really important. I just look back on the times that you had. I guess just kind of the times you had fun, the laughter. I mean, I love laughing. I love laughing and having a good time. Just recalling the good days. Doesn't have to be anything crazy or amazing. Just getting those. Could be you had a wonderful afternoon with your daughter, or you count those memories. The memories of just being happy. Mm-hmm. That's all that's really important.
Yeah.
I mean, we all gonna die at some point.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Just enjoying life. Just taking it in.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool out here.
What Dead song's gonna be at your funeral? Broke Down Palace?
That's exactly. Yeah.
Gone are the days, man.
It is.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Well, God, you're unbelievable what you do. Seared as a restaurant, I don't know how many times I've been in there. It's one of the most consistent restaurants I've ever been at. Anyone who has a chance has got to go in there to experience the food and watch Andrew Burnett do his magic, because you'll never see him lose his cool. And if you do, call me up so I can give him shit, because I've never seen it. But get in there. Thank you for what you do for the community. Thanks for taking the time to come in here. We've known each other forever. I always love seeing you, talking to you. So you're one of the first people I thought of to come in here and sit down and kind of talk about what you do and who you are. And it didn't disappoint. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Really appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Fun.
Yeah. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
All right.